Welcome to Informatica Cloud 201 on-demand course, Advanced Parameterization and REST Utilization. After completing this module, you will be able to understand parameterization, its uses with help of an example, understand advanced parameterization, understand REST utilization and REST tools, and discuss advantages of REST API and parameterization. What is parameterization? Parameter can be used to be placeholder where we can assign a value at the time of running the mapping or task. It allows the creation and assignment of variables within ICS task. Values may be modified between run of jobs. It allows for greater reusability and flexibility, which provides user with more productivity. Now we will discuss a use case to understand where we can use the parameterized mapping. Let us assume that an organization needs to pull two sets of filtered values from multiple objects within Salesforce environment. It doesn't want to build and rebuild mappings for each object, as it becomes tedious. So they want to use global variables to eliminate redundancy. They would use parameters in their mapping, which they can replace with actual values in the runtime. They would like to utilize REST capabilities to expedite the process. The Informatica Cloud REST API would allow them to create, modify, and run mapping configuration tasks on the fly. Based on the examples we discussed, let us discuss how we can meet the business need of the organization. To meet their requirements, they can use filters, which can be of two types. First is a basic filter, where amount will be greater than $100,000. But in this case, we need to specify a fixed value of amount which cannot be changed. The second type is using parameterized filter in a parameterized mapping, where the amount can be greater than a variable $value high. Here, $value high serves as a variable and can be reassigned any number of values. Now we will discuss advanced parameterization. Here, stored parameter files are used for mapping. You can create a mapping once and reuse across multiple projects. You can also update parameters for multiple applications with one change. In fully parameterized mappings, the source and targets are parameterized, where you can change your data sources and targets between runs without heavy modification. You can parameterize filters where it is possible to modify filter values between runs to fit the business need. Then we have parameterized connection objects, in which quick changes between objects within a connection can be made. For example, switching between opportunities to account objects in Salesforce. Now let us discuss how we can utilize REST connections with the advanced parameterized mapping. Parameterized mapping becomes productive for us if we use REST API along with it. We can modify existing parameterized mapping configuration tasks through use of REST API. We can create new parameterized mappings with REST call and are able to run mappings from REST client. We will use the following API functions in our demo. Job API. It allows ICS mappings to be run via API call. Empty task mapping. It helps to create new mappings using JSON or XML objects. Also, we can retrieve and modify existing mapping configuration using Empty Task API. Now we will see the benefits of using REST API and parameterization together. The advantages of using REST API are: it decreases time to deploy a new task. It also decreases time to modify the existing task. And it also enables self-service via web API calls. And the advantages of using parameterization are: using parameterization, we can make mapping configuration changes on the fly. Use of stored variables expands the capabilities of the mappings. In this demo, we will create a fully parameterized mapping, a parameter file and a mapping task using a stored parameter file. To create a fully parameterized mapping, log into Informatica Cloud.org. Select Data Integration from the My Services window. In the Data Integration pane, select New from the navigation pane. To create a new mapping, click Mappings from the New Asset window, and then select the Mapping option. A mapping canvas will appear. In the Mapping Properties, enter the name of the mapping as M-Parameterized. To configure the source, select the source transformation in the mapping. In the Source Properties pane, in the Name field, enter src param mapping. Click New Parameter under the Source tab. The New Parameter window pops up. Enter the name as Source Parameter. Display label as Data Source. Leave connection type blank and click OK. From Source Type drop-down, select Parameter. The Parameter drop-down appears. Now click the New Parameter button. In the New Input Parameter window type, enter the name and display label as Source Type and click OK. Now we will add a filter transformation. Drag and drop the filter transformation between the source and target. Select the filter transformation. In the General tab of the Filter Transformation Properties pane, enter Filter High Value in the Name field. Click the Filter tab in the Filter Properties pane. From the Filter Condition drop-down, select Completely Parameterized. Click the New Parameter button besides Parameter drop-down. In the New Input Parameter window, enter Filter High for both Name and Display Label fields. Click OK. Let us add another filter transformation to the mapping. Drag and drop the filter transformation shape onto the canvas. Link the source transformation to the filter transformation. Click the General tab in the New Filter Properties pane. Enter Filter Low Value in the Name field. Click the Filter tab in Filter Properties pane. From the Filter Condition drop-down, select Completely Parameterized. Click the New Parameter button besides Parameter drop-down. In the New Input Parameter window, enter Filter Low for both Name and Display Label fields, and click OK. Now we will configure the target in the mapping. Click the General tab of the Target Properties pane and enter the name TGT High Value. Click the Target tab. Click the New Parameter button next to Connection drop-down. In the New Parameter pop-up window, enter Target High as name and display label of the parameter. Click OK. From the Target Type drop-down, select Parameter. Click the New Parameter button beside Parameter drop-down. In the New Parameter pop-up window, enter the name Target High Connection Type and click OK. Click the Field Mapping tab. Select Automatic from Field Map Options drop-down. Add a second target to the mapping. Drag and drop a new target onto the canvas. Link the filter Low Value to the new target. Click the General tab of the Target Properties pane and enter the name TGT Low Value. Click the Target tab. Click the New Parameter button next to Connection drop-down. In the New Parameter pop-up window, type Target Low as name and display label of the parameter. Click OK. From the Target Type drop-down, select Parameter. Click the New Parameter button beside Parameter drop-down. In the New Parameter pop-up window, enter the name, Target, Low Connection Type, and click OK. Click the Field Mapping tab. Select Automatic from Field Map Options drop-down. Click the Validate icon to validate the mapping. Click the Save button to save the mapping. Click Run to run the mapping. Select your active secure agent from Runtime Environment drop-down and click Next to set up source. From Data Source Connection drop-down, select your Salesforce connection. Select Single from Source Type drop-down. Click the Select button beside Source Type Object text box. From Select Source Object pop-up, click Opportunity Radio button and click Select. Click Next button or the Targets tab. From Target High Connection drop-down, select your local file connection. Click the Create Target button beside Target High Connection Type Object. Enter targethigh.csv to create a flat file in the Object field. And click OK. From Target Low Connection drop-down, select your local file connection. Click the Create Target button beside Target Low Connection Type Object. Enter targetlow.csv and click OK. Click the Next button. Now let us create a parameter file. Locate Informatica Cloud Secure Agent Install folder. Navigate to the Applications, Data Integration Server, Data, User Parameters. Create a text file with the name userparameters.txt and add the content as shown on your screen. Now create a mapping configuration task with parameters using a stored parameter file. Open your Informatica Cloud org. Locate your previously created mapping from the Recent Assets section. Click the mapping to open it. From the Actions button on the top right side, select New Mapping Task. In the New Mapping Task window, enter Parameterized Mapping Configuration. Select your runtime environment and click Next. From the Data Source Connection drop-down, select your Salesforce connection and select Single from Source Type drop-down. Click the Select button next to Source Type Object label. From Select Source Object window, select Opportunity and click Select. Click Next to configure the target. From the Target Low drop-down, select your existing flat file connection. Click Select button next to Target Low Connection Type Object. Select Target Low.csv from the pop-up window and click Select. From the Target High drop-down, select your existing flat file connection. Click Select button next to Target High Connection Type Object. Select Target High.csv and from the pop-up window, click Select. Click the Next button. For Filter High Parameter Details, click the New button. In the Data Filter window, click the Advanced button. Now the Advanced Data Filter window will pop up. Enter the expression as shown on the screen in the Filter Expression field. Click OK. Similarly to the Filter window parameter details, click the New button. In the Data Filter window, click the Advanced button. Enter the following expression to the Filter Expression field and click Next. In the Parameter File Name field, provide the name of the parameter file stored inside Applications, Data Integration Server, Data, User Parameters directory. Click Finish to save and close the mapping. And click Run to run the mapping. You can check the status of the task while it is running from the My Jobs window. You can check that the task ran successfully, with 0 error rows and no warning. The number of success rows may vary depending on the number of rows present in your source. In this case, it is Opportunity Object of Salesforce. This concludes the demo. You are now ready to implement parameterized mapping with REST API. In this lab module, you will build a fully parameterized mapping, create a stored parameter file, and run an MCT using the parameter file. In a leading organization, the sales head used to analyze the latest trends of sales, profit, customer demand, investment, etc. on a daily, monthly, and quarterly basis. The sales head wanted hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly reports, as per the business requirement. Few of the data were maintained in flat files and others came from variant databases. To collate the data into so many reports on a regular basis was a huge effort in terms of manpower and time. The data was never 100% accurate, and rarely real-time, was required for hourly and daily reports. Sometimes it took weeks to collate the entire data. 100% accurate reports showing the sales and profit analysis, customer demand and supply analysis, etc. in hourly, daily, monthly, and quarterly formats. Also, this information should be made with less effort in terms of manpower and maintain the timeline strictly. So as a solution of this problem, the organization implemented Informatica Cloud. They created mappings in which some were parameterized and others were fixed. With the help of parameterized mapping and leveraging the capabilities of REST API, they were able to create reports by replacing the parameters on the fly, and generated accurate reports using the data which were stored in form of flat files, relational databases, and other sources, such as Salesforce. Informatica Cloud's REST API helped them to make mapping configuration changes on the fly and expand capabilities of mappings through the use of stored variables. As a result, they could prepare accurate reports in few hours, which otherwise took days or sometimes months to prepare. This concludes Advanced Parameterization and REST Utilization module. In summary, we understood parameterization and its uses with the help of an example. We understood advanced parameterization, understood REST utilization and REST tools, and discussed the advantages of REST API and parameterization.